Gentlemen,
Yes.
I have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I am free of tags.
Tag free.
These tags are gone. Wow. They're gone.
It's tag free Wednesday.
Yes, announce it. Announce it to the Korean news.
박명성 3호 2호기 위성 발사 성공.
My skin tags have been removed. Tell Kim Jong-un.
박명성 3호 2호기 위성 발사 성공.
Tell the president. Obama. That's right. Tell everybody. Tell the world that my skin tags are gone, everybody. That's right. They're
Tell
gone.
the Dolphins.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I was actually
you
going
must
for the
feel
goofy
fantastic.
laugh. I feel free. No, I don't. I feel like I've had a million tags
But you-
removed from my body.
Didn't you only estimate 20?
Yeah, there were more.
Roughly.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought 20 was a good estimate.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
They kind of grow like mushrooms on me.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you.
He's a veritable
Give me more level on number 6. God damn it, Rob.
Obama.
Thank you very much.
It's
You're the one.
lunchtime.
You put these together. Rob updated my replay, and I'm like a little kid with a new
Very
toy.
excited.
Obama.
That's my new favorite.
Obama.
That's my new favorite.
Obama.
I like that quite a bit. I really do. And my second favorite is
박명성 3호 2호기 위성 발사 성공.
here's another new one.
And I'll do anything for food. I could eat.
Okay, that's it. See, I'd leave it at that.
Yeah.
And I'll do anything for food.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, here's another one. Mike.
Mike's skin tags.
Mike and your skin tags. Rob, I love this. And I have a new lion. I enjoy that. This is great. I still have Phyllis Diller. But anyway.
Like a lion.
Shut up, Phyllis. Okay.
We
enough
did
of that.
our best to
Thank you.
de-Diaz the replays.
Thank you
I
very-
cleaned them a
Yes.
little. I cleaned up your cards, and they look a little better.
Yeah, and I needed to scrub them, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do yesterday.
You know what? Most of the filth came home with me.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They were dirty.
Well, the thing is these are little sound effects machines,
Right.
that have 50 buttons on them.
Right.
Yes.
And there is a card that overlays the buttons to tell you what each button plays. And they were attached with ripped strips of silver duct tape, which leaves that goo.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there's
that
just
gum,
goo
yeah.
everywhere. Are you well?
What's going on?
I'm eating the tag.
No,
I'm just
you're
kidding.
not.
No, just kidding.
Oh, maybe you had one on
Just
your
wanted to
tongue.
gross you out again. Just wanted to
tag.
gross you out. So yeah, I had an early morning procedure with the good doctor, Dr. Nelson from Bewitched.
Oh, of course.
And no, it's
Dr. Bombay would be from Bewitched.
Right.
Oh,
Nelson was on I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, okay.
Major Nelson.
I dream of Jeannie.
Right.
Right.
I had the wrong show.
Yeah.
So I'm all done, and I feel very liberated.
And you
I
did
feel,
not save
I feel
any of
terrific. It's like get me to the beach now.
You didn't save any of the tags?
No, I didn't bring them in.
We could have a tag
Any
sale.
guess as to the combined weight of the removed tags?
Buzz. They're just little tiny pieces
I understand,
of skin.
but cumulative. You've
Microscopic
indicated-
pieces of skin.
You've indicated there were quite a lot of them.
There were a lot of them, and they don't, why is it always a quantity with you guys?
Well, it's
why
quality
is it
with
always
me.
weight and quantity?
It should
for
be
God's
quality
sake?
because I know you could have gotten home in time to make a lovely peel off.
Oh, that's lovely. Rice pilaf.
Do you
No.
feel better?
I feel great because it's like this was something
Clean.
I chose to do. This was not requested by my wife, but I'm sure, like when I put my arm around her at night in the Betty Bye, that she might go.
No, I think it's nice that she's not going to have any more pulls in her sweater.
Kept snagging things.
Oh, a lot of people have them. Rob's had them.
Yeah.
Buzz has
Oh,
had
sure.
them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have them. I had them in that area, and I had them for a long time since I was in my 20s, and I wanted to get them all hacked off, and I was give me a little more level. will
When
you
you were
please?
walking home, were you swinging your arms crazily because of the lack of friction?
No, because you don't want to do
Yeah.
that because you've just had them taken off.
I see, but
Very
soon you can dance like Gene Kelly.
You want to apply the salve, the little stuff that goes underneath them, and,
Yeah.
and
What-
then
do you know what kind of salve that is? Is it homemade? Something you make here?
no, it's stuff that you put on. It's like any other salve, but it's
antibiotic
like Vaseline or
ointment.
something like
Maybe
that.
it's an A&D ointment?
I don't know.
Neo-
It's got a funny
Neosporin?
name. It's not Neo. You're not supposed to put Neosporin.
Why?
Really?
I don't know, but I'm pointing at you because they said don't.
All
Very
right.
firmly.
Do not do that.
I won't.
Something.
But don't you notice there's a little extra spring in my step today because
Yes.
I got this fabulous procedure?
Absolutely.
And it's a nice place, too.
You know what it
It's
is?
a nice place. I'm trying to get her to advertise.
It's confidence.
What's that?
Confidence.
You have
I
new,
just-
new confidence.
And I like the people there. I had, you know what, when you interact with good people and you have a nice conversation.
Right.
And it's one of those, do you get, I don't get this this in the medical community very often, where you go into an office and it's just kind of got a light atmosphere where they're serious but they're pleasant.
Well,
they're super pleasant.
You have to look at you and me and you. We have odd medical pasts. We very seldom get good news.
Yeah, you're
when
right.
We go. I mean,
Yeah.
usually it was easy. They just snapped them off and you're done.
No, but I think of my wife's first OBGYN trip where
Also bad.
we walked into this sullen, nasty, impersonal office, and it's not like that.
It's
there.
hard to find a good doctor.
And I like doing that, and so I actually enjoyed the conversation as it was. And I had the junior doc, the nurse practitioner, do the
Right.
first 2 sessions, and then I had the big boss today, and it was fun talking to the big boss because I'm a fan of doctors.
You are.
I like the fact that they've gone to school so much longer than any disc jockey.
Yes.
and that always makes me very
Except,
happy.
of course, Dr. Don Rose.
Doctor
no
or
way.
Dr. Drew.
We bow to him.
But I love
hey,
Dr. Drew as well.
That's very great.
What was the hey? Were you defending Dr.
I
Drew?
love Dr. Drew.
I love Dr. Drew.
Yeah, but some
I
people
got
don't.
love for Dr. Drew before you got love for
everyone
Dr.
in the room
Drew.
loves Dr. Drew, save one guy.
Buzz doesn't
I-
like that.
I
Oh, that's
kinda
because
like
Dr.
him.
Drew said a long time ago, I
And he
said, what is
remembers
the
it.
most insidious drug? And he said, it's pot.
Right.
And he meant it because he has treated addiction for his entire career,
Right.
and Buzz took offense to
Well,
that.
and that's why I went on to heroin and crystal meth.
Well, it's just you, but I mean, that's another thing. The modern pot smoker cannot get out of their own bubble.
That's not everybody.
That's
That's
right.
the way
But
it
you
goes.
feel great.
Why do you love him?
I love Dr. Drew because I want to have a personal relationship with him.
You want
we used
to.
We used to actually.
Sometimes you give a look that reminds me of a kid. What's that? I love Dr. Drew because
Yeah.
there we go.
Well,
Why do you love him?
Because as a young broadcaster, he was kind enough to really reach out to us. We would call him on his cell phone in the middle of sessions when he was in California on the old radio show. And he would pick up the phone or call us back. We would page him, and he would call us back if we had a question. This is how
He's a super nice guy.
This is how
Yeah.
disrespectful we were to his profession. He gave us his pager number. We
Right.
would page him, and he'd call us on the air in the middle of seeing patients.
Did he ever? I'm sure he got pissed at you.
No.
No,
He never got
he
pissed?
loves to be
Super
on TV
kind.
and radio.
Oh, so you hate him? Why do you hate him
No,
so
I-
much?
I
It's
don't.
the pot thing.
I don't hate him. There are a lot of things about him I like.
You
What's your
two seem-
favorite thing about him?
That he is very articulate about going on radio and television and talking about health issues, and generally very intelligent about them.
So that was left-handed.
That's a good way to start the show. All right, then let's begin.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Do you like the island? My grandmother had an island. One summer, we went for a visit and discovered the place had been infested with rats. They'd come on a fishing boat and gorged themselves on coconut. So how do you get rats off an island? My grandmother showed me. We buried an oil drum and hinged the lid. Then we wired coconut to the lid as bait, and the rats would come for the coconut, and boing, 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 boing. They would fall into the drum. And after a month, you've trapped all the rats. But what did you do then? Throw the drum into the ocean? Burn it? No. You just leave it. And they begin to get hungry. And one by one, they start eating each other. Until there are only 2 left. The 2 survivors. And then what? Do you kill them? No. You take them and release them into the trees. But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat. You have changed their nature.
Coming to you live from Mike O'Mara's living room studio in the historic Radio District of Manassas, Virginia, a bustling suburb of the nation's capital. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, featuring Buzz Burbank with Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
That's not true.
It's a true story because it happened in Skyfall.
They don't eat rat.
I don't even.
You can't train a rat to eat other rats.
I really had trouble believing they ate coconut.
Maybe so. It could only be a movie. We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Wednesday, March 20th, 2013, and we are brought to you by our Amazon page.
Marvelous.
And here's why we mention it to you today, because now you can save up to 70% on all jewelry just in time for Mother's Day, Father's Day, and graduations. I'd love a lovely new brooch for Father's Day.
I was getting you a Father's Day tiara.
Sexy time.
A watch or a bracelet.
Boy, I've got Mother's Day for the first time
chain.
with Carla.
You're right.
And I have a graduation coming up, so
Because
I might be going to
years ago,
Amazon.
For years, you've been ignoring your own mother.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I've got a mother up there.
It's mutual.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd take out my bank loan right now. Hey, go to Amazon. If you go through MichaelMarashow.com, that helps us enormously. We've told you that. If kicks are more your style, save up to 60% on athletic shoes. I'm really looking at that
Look
today.
at that. Now you're listening.
I didn't realize you had a copy from 1960. How are your kicks?
I'm so selfish. No, kicks is the modern term.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well, I mean, it's very old school.
Sneakers is the old term.
Right.
Did you know that?
I wear hard shoes.
You never wear
to the beach.
Rob never wore. Rob wore sneakers more than anybody else growing up.
No, but you know what? Kicks, that's an old term. I guess it's come back.
But they just keep getting harder to find.
I think you can use either or.
Well, what I like are pumped up kicks.
You know the way I feel about it?
What?
Whatever. Save money and support the show. The banner ad at MikeO'MaraShow.com takes you directly to your account at home, school, church, or work. Shop through Mike O'Mara. MikeO'MaraShow.com.
You got tripped up
by Amazon.
By saying church.
On the program today, speaking of this, a great segue because I'm an old fart about books. I enjoy my Kindle. I like the modern aspects of the Amazon Kindle.
Sure. Yes.
But at the same time, I think that I miss real books. And if I really love a book within the first 15, 20 pages, I immediately say, I wish I really had it. I wish I had the cover. I wish I could put it on a shelf.
There's a tactile pleasure to holding a book.
Yeah.
There's a great smell to an old book. I love the smell of old books.
You can draw a parallel between that and actually playing a record as like listening to something on an MP3 player.
I want to talk about the Capitals today. I want to talk about batteries today. I already talked about the Tag Doctor.
Tag Doctor.
I want to address a very controversial subject for the show. How original is our dueling Michael McDonald's? Because it seems like
everywhere.
It suddenly has sprouted up everywhere. And I don't, I'm a big believer in what my old radio partner, Mr. Geronimo, would say. If you steal from me, you've stolen from me twice.
Right.
You've stolen twice. That's what he used to say because and another term for it is there is no original idea in show business.
True enough.
But I'm really curious because we've been doing that dueling Michael McDonald's for a good long time.
Doesn't it date back to the terrestrial show?
Yeah, and suddenly we hear, Jimmy Fallon doing it and other people doing it, and we heard that Russell Brand was doing it. I'm just curious about it, and I'd like to discuss it. Lindsay Lohan, want to talk about her, want to talk about you, Mr. Spiewak.
Really?
Because I'm giving you a mission for the upcoming season.
Excellent.
The Final
His
Four
favorite
season.
position.
The NCAA playoff season.
Oh, good. I love sports games.
It's the start of spring. Let's all sing. And let's start today with something we really touched on at the end of the show yesterday. It's kind of heavy, but I figured we'd talk a little bit about this because it's on my mind. It's that Steubenville rape situation.
Oh, we talked about this after the show.
Yeah, we talked about it after the show, and I think we were all mightily pissed off about the entire situation
it's an
that's going on
extraordinarily
there.
ugly situation.
Yeah, it's really nasty. It's just something that it's foreign to me because I went to a high school where we had a nice football program, and it was fun. And I think most of the kids in the student body went to the games on Saturday. But this is apparently one of these towns like they have down in Texas and in some places in the Midwest, like in Ohio,
Pennsylvania,
where it's a huge deal.
Like that show Friday Night Lights.
And I'm trying to it's hard to get all the information clearly on this particular story because there's so many subplots. The conviction of these two young men. If you've had your head in the sand, we're talking about a case where a young lady went to a high school party, got tremendously inebriated,
right,
and was
she's 16.
She was so drunk that she lost consciousness, and she just wasn't all there.
Right.
And then she was taken advantage of by these two individuals that are on the football team there, and they took pictures of it, they tweeted about it, and they raped this woman. They sexually assaulted her, and they were charged with it after the fact because this woman was not in any way able to consent to this activity. And it was a huge trial. But during this trial, it got more coverage and more attention because of the reaction of the people in this town.
The community, yeah.
And I don't care how important football is to your town. This is symptomatic of what you hear from a lot of teachers. And I have my ex-brother-in-law is a coach and a teacher, and he, a long time ago, explained to me that he was noticing a trend that in many cases the only time you're going to speak to a parent is when the parent has a gripe with you.
That's right.
That where my parents in my day when I was raised, it was a situation if you'd screwed up, that's when you were going to see the teacher and you were going to get or you were going to go in and and talk to the teacher about how your kid's doing, or it was a nice exchange. Parents seem to look at the authority figures in an adversarial way, and I think this might have something to do with the whole vibe about Steubenville and everybody looking at the attorney general and the prosecutors as the adversaries in this situation.
Do you think it boils down to a sort of a trend in softer parenting where, I see a lack of discipline anytime I go to some sort of school or organized function, where now the thing is that the kids are allowed to just go crazy.
Yeah.
And the parents don't touch them because, kids will be kids. Well, I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I think that the kids should be taught to respect others, and you need to sometimes bring the hammer down. But if you side with your kids constantly, you're going to see the instructor or the authority figure not as someone who can help them, but as an adversary. And automatically you're siding with the wrong side.
Well, this is the ultimate authority figure. We're talking about the prosecutors
Yes,
and the
of
people
course.
that brought charges against the kids.
I think sometime around 1980, parents, a lot of parents, not all of them, but a lot of parents stopped wanting to be parents and started wanting to be friends with their children. And there was a shift there at about that time, at that point in our timeline. And so now, the parents constantly are rushing to the defense of their kids, right or wrong.
And what's astonishing to me, I'm sorry, Oscar, but what's astonishing to me with this Steubenville story is it seems, and I only base this on the coverage that I've read and seen, that this child who was a victim, suddenly this child and the rape itself became a secondary story to the fact that the town was supporting these football players, and there were several people that were saying, well, we didn't mean to tweet this. We didn't mean to share the pictures. The pictures aren't the relevant story here.
We meant to keep the rape private. Yeah.
I mean, really, it just, the whole thing seems haywire in this town.
When the story broke, I had been following it loosely, and then this past weekend, when the actual guilty plea came down for juvenile court, I decided to start reading about it, and I got into detail about what had happened and what had transpired. And I don't think this is really, it's unfair to say it's about parenting.
Okay.
I think there's two indictments here. One, it's about an entitlement that comes with big programs in small towns.
Right, and you're talking about high school football.
High school sports. You had the star quarterback, star wide receiver in the program. And really what ended up happening and why it became such a big story, because this happens across the country, guys. We just don't get to read about it all the time, is that the town itself and the police department was really held to the fire because they initially didn't do enough to investigate this report. That because this program, this Big Red program, was so important to this town, and there had been so many former players or people within the police department and within that government that were involved with this football program, that it took a groundswell of anonymous public support to bring this to light and to really bring these players and this kind of society to the forefront, to every front page in the country, to say, we can't let this happen. It's not okay.
It's Penn State all over again.
It is, and it's Penn State on the high school level. And what amazes me is, first of all, the lack of courage with individuals. I played on that team. I'm looking the other way on this. Because who cares? And when you say important to the town, and I really try to grasp that. You're not even talking about a Penn State where you're talking about the economic impact of a major university. You're talking about what people probably like to drink a six-pack and get together and go see on a Friday night.
It's an industrial town.
That's really what we're talking, right? I mean, so the extent of important to the town, and I just want to make sure I'm clear.
It's on the border.
Because you've read a lot about this.
It's right across the border in Ohio, West Virginia. It's on the border. This town is on the border. It's an industrial town.
Steubenville.
This this town.
But that's the level. That's the extent of the importance to the town.
You're right.
Yes.
Where it was this was the center of their social, like
Exactly.
Friday Night Lights.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's that. But other than that, there's really, economically, no, it doesn't impact the town economically, really.
Right.
You have, and then it impacts the town in that there were many people that were in positions with the town and with the police department that had gone to that high school and
That had
been a part
ties.
of that football program.
Yes.
Right.
Other than that, that's it. And
Right.
that to me is just, when I said Stupidville yesterday,
Right.
I mean, it really is amazing. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying the whole town is
No.
stupid, because there are plenty of people that had a lot of courage, including that girl for, pursuing this, and her parents and the people that did this.
In spite of threats.
Now her parents want to say, we just want to make it go away, because I'm sure the emotional pressure on
wanna
them
live their life.
They gotta move.
has been astonishing. But it just... I bring it up again. We talked about sports. I was having fun poking fun at Buzz and Rob and talking about
Right.
sports. And I love sports. Anybody that read my Facebook page, I was all over the Capitals last night having a blast. And then I wake up in the morning, and that's it. And then after the game's over, I even try to control myself within the game when I want to bitch about everybody.
Right.
But my bitching is for professional athletes that I like to watch, and I'd like the team to be better. But outside of that,
It's not, you don't live and breathe it.
I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's just astonishing how much I love sports, but we have put sports above all else in this country.
Many people have, yeah.
It's it's insanity.
The fact
and
that
that's why crap like this happens.
The fact that even after all of this shakes down, and sadly there had to be a shakedown before a conviction would happen.
And the conviction was in juvenile court, so technically the guys got off a lot easier
Than they could.
than they would have in a regular court.
A year in jail for the 16 and 17-year-old football players.
Even after that, people are threatening the victim.
That,
Oh, yeah.
I read that today, and that's why I wanted to come and talk about it.
That's a
thing.
jaw dropper.
It is beyond a jaw dropper, and it speaks to, we talk about the bubble a lot, where
Right.
people are in their own little world, and you talk about important to the town, but I'm going to kill you, I'm going to commit homicide if I see you, texting the victim of a rape.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I mean, and when you see the picture of the girl who was obviously unconscious,
right.
That to me right there shows that this person, yes, she had gotten drunk at a party, but my God, she is a legitimate victim. There's no question about that.
Right.
And we still have these absolute, cave dwellers.
Boys will be boys.
That
they
it's the
say.
girls that were
well,
threatening.
I know. Yeah, I think girlfriends.
These are girls
Yeah.
that threaten in some
Right,
cases.
right, absolutely.
Guys-
just stunning to me.
I guess I think the only
Where have we lost our way? Where have we lost our way in this country?
Well,
really?
I would
From
say
many
I
ways.
would say we haven't, because even though it took basically a groundswell of people to say this isn't right, we are not going to let this cover up or this sweeping of this issue happen in our town. There's a dramatic picture, if you ever look this up, where you've got a mass of people in front of this city hall, and they're all wearing the V for Vendetta mask, the anonymous mask, and they're all there. And that image in a small town, industrial town in America, you sit there and you almost say, you can't get away with these things anymore. People
Right.
aren't going to let you stop.
Well, now explain that, because when you say that to me, you're talking about the people that showed up were supporting the victim.
They were supporting the victim.
And they're saying, you can't behave like this, Steubenville. That's what
Right.
your point
You
is.
can't do
Okay, I
this.
just want to make that clear.
And it went viral. I will say
Because when
that-
you said that at first, I said, "Well, it's just
I
members
would-
of the football team."
No,
that showed
I would
up.
say,
Oh,
I would say,
yeah.
20 years ago, this issue, these guys might have gotten away with this.
Yeah. Oh, true.
But because of the actions of a few, and then what became many, they made sure they put enough political and social pressure on this town,
Right.
to actually investigate and figure out what went down.
And I see what your point is. So your point is that all is not lost,
All
that
is not
good
lost.
has triumphed over evil.
Yeah.
in
We
this
may be
case.
better off.
And I really think that, I was listening to the AG for this case. And I think the AG for Ohio, the Attorney
Yeah.
General,
Right.
And I'd like to see the AG. I'd like to see this expand. If there was anybody that was guilty of covering this up,
It's
I'd like to
continuing.
see.
The investigation is continuing.
And it's unfortunate these threats are only a misdemeanor, because they're going
And a
to
light-
get a slap on the wrist
And a light misdemeanor at that.
a light misdemeanor,
And that's unfortunate.
and very, very frustrating to see this. Not be. I'd like to see somebody like 6 months in jail. To be honest
Well,
with you.
also the actions of these kids, and I use that loosely, are disgusting. And I think that if you're out there, and look, I'm not a parent. My dad used to do something that I hated when I was younger. It was called Table Topics, where he'd give me an article from the paper, and I'd have to tell him all about it in the evening.
Right.
I'd get it in the morning. This is something I think my father would have put in front of me, and I would read it during the day, and then I'd have to tell him about it at night.
Right.
And he simply did these things so I would learn
It's brilliant
about
parenting.
what may or may not happen in life and what's happening around the world.
Right.
And if I had a child and they were and it was appropriate age, I'd sit them down and say, let's talk about this together.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I thought about high school athletics, and I thought about the big program. There's a part of me going to American University where I always regretted that I didn't get a chance to go to the school with the program. So you'd have that big Saturday, you'd have the alumni thing, and you'd always be there, and you'd tailgate, and you'd do all that fun stuff. And my high school was kind of, football was okay. We got into it. It was and my daughter's high school has a very, very good football team, went to the playoffs last year, and they're fun to watch, and they pack the stands, but it's kids playing football.
Yeah.
And I know that in these other programs, you just say to yourself, wow.
It's big business.
And not only are you putting too much importance on these young guys that are out there on the football field, but you're also doing things to these young people that they're not ready for. They're not ready for that kind of adulation yet. They're really not. And it seems to me we have case after case after case in this country where you make a hero out of the younger you make a hero out of somebody, the more they have a chance to go off the rails.
And it comes back again, I think, to where it starts is parenting. If you allow the child to have that kind of power from the adulation you get as a 16-year-old.
But
it's societal.
But it allows.
I think it's societal, not parental.
It might be interchanged.
You see so many examples of the elite athletes, and behind them, even you can see this at the Olympics. You know those stage mothers, Rob, that are up there. You know the stage fathers.
But
and you see them in Little League, you see the guy that takes it too seriously.
Whether it is the fact that it is the immediacy of parenting, or go one step out to society itself.
Right.
When you allow a kid, and that is just what it is. It's a kid to have that kind of power from within, he's going to spin out, and if you don't stop him, stuff like this is going to happen.
You're right, Rob, about parenting being a problem, but what we're talking about here really is societal. On a smaller scale, a much, much, much smaller scale. When I was in high school, I had won several trophies for the school in speech and debate, and then I got caught. Thank you very much. There'll be a short performance after the show today. When I got caught,
the news just got to Korea.
When I got caught skipping class, the school counselor said to me, "Well, you've brought in some trophies and stuff, and look, we're just going to ask you not to do that again." There was no punishment for it, because and obviously speech and debate is nothing compared to football at the high school level.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were heroes. They did get adulation.
So because you've won a couple of things, we're going to look the other way.
Exactly. So imagine winning a lot of things in their most important program, football.
Yeah, it happened. And we hear about it in college all the time. But the high school thing. Well, Friday Night Lights is a great example of that. And then you get the bullying factor and kids' cruelty, and it's just. I just want to say, for the people that have stood up in Steubenville, I salute you.
Yes.
And for those people that laid the death threats, I think you'll get a greater reward down the line for that.
I have one more point when we come back, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll take one more point on that, and then we're going to talk a little more sports with Rob Spiewak. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by ScoreBig.com. Taking your family to a game or any event can be really, really expensive. I have 2 kids. I know this is true, especially if you're paying too much for tickets. Imagine getting great seats at up to 60% below the box office price. Your first stop, whatever you want to see, is ScoreBig.com. Below box office prices are guaranteed at ScoreBig.com. Now imagine getting $30 off your first order when you enter the code TMOS. That is great seats, below box office prices, and an extra $30 off with your first order. Oh, and no extra fees ever at ScoreBig.
How about that?
I buy tickets online all the time, and I, in the years past, have used other sites besides ScoreBig, and you always see the price of the ticket, and then you check out. And there's this little fee.
Little surprise.
And you know what that fee is? That's magic.
Yeah, well,
that's just conjured magic.
Exactly.
You don't get that at ScoreBig.
A lot of times the other people call that a convenience fee, and I don't find it convenient at all.
Not at all.
Processing fee. All those fees. They ought to just
BS
take
fee.
all those fees. That's what we ought to do with all those fees. So no need to go anywhere else. ScoreBig.com. Check them out, and don't forget to enter our code TMOS. Okay, let's wrap up the Steubenville thing. I think we all got a chance to vent on it a little bit.
I think that it is just another indication of, while sometimes society really rewards sports stars and heroes. I think that really, at the end of the day, it's big business. And if you could just do this and humor me for 2 seconds, our friend Dominique Foxworth, he he's the NFLPA president, but he also writes for the Huffington Post.
Brilliant guy.
And I just highlighted a section of his last piece,
two paragraphs
about March Madness.
Okay.
And we're going to dovetail into that in 2 seconds. Go ahead.
He says at most Division I schools, the revenue generated by a college's football and basketball teams support the rest of the school's athletic teams, and increasingly, revenue from the marquee sports and related activities support academic programs as well as campus infrastructure and general operating expenses. Data also consistently shows success on the football field or basketball court nets increases in donations, new student applications, and sales of school-branded merchandise, which is why coaches' salaries dwarf those of academic faculty. I think we all wish the masses would value a school's academic wins more than success in athletic venues, but unfortunately that's not the society in which we live. If millions of people would watch and gamble on March Coding Madness, a college computer coding competition I just made up, sponsors would throw money at it, TV channels would bid hundreds of millions for it, and software and hardware companies would pay handsomely to have their products used and logos displayed on the chest of student competitors. Maybe then companies would pay millions to have their name on the computer science building and not on the football stadium. And the dean's compensation package would be worth more than the coaches. For better or worse, that's not how things are, not even at mid-major or Division II and III schools.
You are blessed to have that guy as a friend.
Yeah.
That is
how
just
smart is he?
Well, how brave is he also?
Yeah,
because he's really, in a way, he's a product of a big football program, and he's. I said this to you a while back. Hey, you're going to see Congressman or Senator Foxworth down the road.
Wouldn't that be great?
He is a very smart guy, and I regret that when I met him, because I looked at him as just a football player, that I talked probably, I did some shtick and maybe did a little football talk. I would love to get together with him and really have some nice conversations. He is a brilliant guy.
Good lesson.
That's amazing that a football player would, an NFL football player would do that.
Yeah, and he just wrote that, and the fact that we're talking about this now, I sat here and I said, he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's big business.
Yeah, and it's what we value. I've always said this about the NFL. I think the reason the NFL is so successful is one reason and one reason only. The NFL, more than any other sport, is made for television.
Yep.
Because of the frequent breaks, you're able to get a lot of television advertising. That's it.
The sport,
it's a great sport.
The sport and television grew up together.
Right.
And it's designed for it.
It's a great sport, but if you want to go to, I've said this, and this is not because I like it, but you go live to a hockey game and go live to an NFL game, and I will tell you that you're going to have a hell of a lot more excitement sometimes at a hockey game than you are at a football game, but it is so perfect. Television is, football is made for television, and that's why I think we blow it up.
And to bring things full circle, that's why we hold some of these guys, these gentlemen that are involved in these sports, in such high regard, and we give them a pass at times. Not every professional athlete or collegiate athlete or even high school athlete is involved in things like this.
Oh, absolutely not.
But it's important to note that right and wrong is still right and wrong.
Yeah, and we value, and it really speaks to. I think maybe someday the dialogue can be. Maybe we need to take a harder look at what we really value in this country, because we are getting surpassed by other countries. We really are. And academic achievement, you walk around with that little iPhone and you see that iPad and all that wonderful technology that came out of math classes and engineering classes and, academic pursuits that, produce the eggheads and the geniuses that come up with these, that will hopefully someday cure all major diseases. We need to value that more in this country. We really do. We talk about, hey, they're shipping our jobs overseas. Well, they're shipping our jobs overseas because we don't have the trained people that do it. And I know I'm going into a million different directions.
No, but it's true.
Here, but I just
societal,
what Dominique is saying in that is that let's value academic pursuits as much as we do, and I'd love to see that. I think it'd be terrific.
I was at a literacy fundraiser last night, and I heard a great quote, and I wish I could remember who said it, but they said, in a perfect society, the best of us would be teachers. The rest of us would do the other jobs, the less important work.
That's really true. And what do? We we devalue teachers into poverty level jobs, and it just doesn't make
for free.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. And really, how it does tie into the whole Steubenville thing is people going, "Hey, football, you can't pick on him because he's the guy that throws the ball down the field."
But I think Oscar's right. I think the free pass is starting to come to an end for star athletes, and maybe that's the beginning of a turnaround. Keep our fingers crossed.
I would hope so, but I do not think
It's
that's
hard
the
to
case.
keep a secret now.
It's social media.
That's a lot of it.
Yeah, and it started with our political leaders, where they used to be able to do it, and now, it's a much more transparent world that we live in. So that's it. We'll see what
Sunshine.
happens. Speaking of sports, because don't let any of this discussion dissuade you from the fact that I truly enjoy sports. I sat there and I watched my hockey. I am not as much of an NCAA basketball fan as I am a hockey fan, but I'm here to say, Mr. Spiewak,
Mr. O'Mara,
your VCU Eagles, is that what it is?
Rams.
Clams?
Rams.
Rams? Okay. Your VCU Minutemen.
Go Clams.
Your VCU Trojans are...
Oh, wait a second.
Are you aware? Okay. All right.
You started this.
C.
Yeah.
You can join me on this. This is fun.
You could.
VCU, go, Rams, go.
All right. So the Rams, are you aware at the very least that your Rams are being very highly touted in the NCAA
Fifth or
tournament?
sixth seed, right?
Fifth seed.
Many
In the
people, there are people that have actually picked them to go to the Final Four.
Oh, well, I'm very excited for them.
Yeah, but I'm here to say, I'm giving you the opportunity.
Right.
You don't have to watch the games.
Thank
But
you, Mike.
I will not allow you will not be allowed on this show to gloat about VCU winning anything unless you demonstrate to all of us here that you have a better knowledge of the team. Not even the sport, but the team. You can, and I know that you're a good student, Rob Spiewak.
Yes.
And
despite the fact that I went to VCU.
And I think that if you're going to come in here in a couple of weeks' time and start talking about the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight and the Final Four and the Terrible Twos or whatever the hell it is, you have to be our official NCAA spokesperson.
He's a fraud.
But I know he's a fraud.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I wrote this down.
Aren't we all a little bit of a fraud?
I wrote Robin VCU. Let the phony begin.
Okay, good.
Okay, but the fact is,
I will not let you down.
But now you're going to have to talk about.
I will go to it. I will.
Who is your favorite player, for example, on the VCU Rams?
Oh, I love the. I think his name is Jones.
Okay, and now you're getting racial on that.
How is that racial?
Basketball Jones? Like it's not the greatest stereotype in the world, you hump.
I should have said Smith.
No.
What I'll do.
You need to do a little light reading.
I will pick up a copy of the Times Dispatch, which is the Richmond paper of record.
That's right.
Oh, here it is. Oh, don't laugh at them. They're fine.
They had lots of great. I remember.
They're super fine.
I took the paper in the early 90s.
They made you put it back.
When you were living in Richmond?
I took the paper. It was required, and they had a wonderful section of funnies.
Right.
And also the lighthearted lifestyle section was great too.
Sure.
I didn't usually take the sports.
Are you going to read up on your Rams little bit?
I shall.
Because you do. If they get to the Final Four, you know you're going to dig it.
Well, the thing
Will
is,
you watch it?
Yes, and I did watch it.
Will you watch
last
it
time.
if they get to the Sweet 16?
I'll watch every game that's on television.
You will.
Yeah.
You'll watch
VCU.
every VCU game
Of the 64 as soon as the bracket starts? Absolutely, and I
Really?
did last year too.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think
I watched the Eagles when they were in the tournament.
I
don't think the Eagles made it. My American University Eagles.
Right.
I don't think they made it to the big dance, but I have no idea. Can somebody enlighten me?
You mentioned earlier that
I could.
You regret the fact that AU didn't have the big program, and
Right.
we didn't either.
We had a decent basketball team.
And you said that you've had there wasn't the big alumni thing. Well, VCU doesn't have a lot of alumni stuff because very few of us graduate. That's the problem.
Go Kansas.
Do you remember when I attended American University? Do you remember our star player?
I do
I think
not.
you were particularly fond of the name.
What was that?
Boo Bowers.
Oh, of course, Boo.
Yeah. And not that the
Boo.
You guys, you
I
talk
would
about
like to-
American University like they're relevant.
I would. Well, American University has been in the NCAA.
Well, he's a bigger fan of Bolivian
for like
University.
a cup of coffee.
We beat Georgetown once.
Once. How many
I will
years has that
now.
university been around for?
Let's do. Oh, do I have to take a break?
We do. We got a.
All right. When we come back, I will do a little playlet, and I will take you back to American University. I think you'll enjoy this sketch. We'll be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
little less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me.
Hey, a little less. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Hey, a special greeting to all our good people on WTNT that listen to us here in Washington, D.C. in the evening.
Hello.
102.9 FM if you're in the Northern Virginia area. Really, for about a half a square mile area.
Yeah.
I invite you to the corridor. It's it's about 13 yards off of I-66.
Right. Either
right
side.
after the 123 exit and before the mile marker.
You almost can't miss
We
it.
cover most of Waples Mill Road.
Thank you.
And if it's cloudy, the reception is fantastic.
No, we kid because we love. You can hear us all over Northern Virginia on WTNT, 7 to 9 at night. If you like this podcast and you download it, I don't talk about it enough that we're on WTNT.
Right.
And we'd love you to check us out. 7 to 9, they rebroadcast this podcast. And it's a lot of fun, and it's great to be back on the radio
cool.
here in Washington, D.C. We're
And
very, very happy
Remember
about
our motto, Mike, when you're in your car, take us home with you.
Thank you. This portion of the program is brought to you by Vistaprint.com. We just got a guy yesterday that said he was going to send us his business
We have
cards.
several now.
I sent out like 5
Do we have
addresses
some that are
yesterday.
sending, or do we have
People
we
are
received
sending,
it?
and I've heard from 3 or 4 people now.
Yeah, they're en
I will
route.
tell you, send us your business card, and I'll flash it up here every time I'm doing the little Vistaprint commercial.
Sure.
We talked about Todd Moore bought 7,500
That's right.
business cards.
750.
And really went out on his balcony of his modern apartment in
Yes.
Arlington and threw them up in the air.
He made it rain.
And then he took other ones. He took another 1,000 and put them in a balloon, released it, and then shot it with a .22, and it scattered the cards all over the area.
And then he turned that into an app and made lots of money.
Absolutely.
Now that's marketing.
Vistaprint is a great deal. We urge you to check them out. A lot of people are satisfied. Everybody's satisfied if they go to Vistaprint because they make great cards. 250
Right.
top quality business cards for just $10. Millions of business owners use Vistaprint because it's affordable and easy to create quality custom business cards online. Go there today, Vistaprint.com, and enter our code TMOS in the search bar, and you get the free shipping
Do
as
it.
well. Thank you very much. Okay, here's the playlet. I want to take you back now to American University.
Let's go back in
The
time.
year is?
The year is 1979.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
I am in the cafeteria with Boo Bowers in front of me, along with 2 other African-American players for the American University Eagles.
Yeah.
Behind the counter of the cafeteria where they are scooping out our food
Mashed potatoes?
are the
Troweling.
not that there's anything wrong with any of this. I'm just painting the picture.
Right.
The exclusively all African American staff that's working for the food service people, and they are talking to the basketball players, and they are laughing with them hysterically, and they're going,
What a great time.
"Oh, boo! Yeah, boo!" And they're filling their plates almost to chin level,
Heaping
Right.
them.
with food, and then they turn to me, and I will never forget the moment as she looked at me. She said, "That's right, boo. Good luck tomorrow night. What do you want?"
Oh, boy. She didn't favor the AU drinking team?
What do you want?
That's right.
Was that your first time up, or was that seconds?
It was first. It was my first time. No, I just remember that it was just they were having this great time with the basketball team, and when the the schlubby little other guy came through, it's like, "What do you want?" It's like food's not as important to me, and it was important to me.
was
My
important.
feelings were hurt.
What did you say to her?
Huh?
What did you say to her?
I'll have.
Oh, I thought you were done shtick.
I said, I'll have the meatloaf. Boo, boo. But anyway, that was a little.
What you
play
should have
with
done
it.
is you should have got your mobile news gathering unit and come and interviewed them and show them your power.
I bet they didn't know that, just 1 year later, I would be Tuesday night at the Tavern's official disc jockey.
That's right.
Along
That's-
with Jeff Goldie Gold.
That's the problem. They didn't know.
Mike, did you ever?
and Mark Silverstein.
Speaking of basketball,
One of those things is not like the other.
I've always been close to Jews.
Yes, of course.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Speaking of basketball and local,
And they to you.
this DC area. Did you
True.
ever have a Coach Larry Naga on your show? For when
no.
he was with GMU?
No, you know who the first coach? You know who the coach was back when I went to American University?
Who's that?
Gary Williams.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then a guy I went to school with a few years ago, Chris Nockey, was the coach of the American University Eagles. And we used to play, I think, in Fort Myers. And I'm not talking about Florida. I'm talking about the Fort Myers military base.
Fort Myer.
Fort Myer.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, singular.
Right.
And I know
Is that the year that Goldie coached?
Okay, guys, we're going to give you a Quaalude now, just so you'll relax a little on the court. Goldie and AU. Jeff Levine's coming up in about 15 minutes, and he's going to do the show with Jeff Newman and Ron Kirsch. No, I didn't have a lot of Jewish friends in college.
No, I don't think.
Ron Kirsch is coming down with Jeff Newman and Jeff Levine. I'm Jeff Gold.
How did you even get in?
How are you? Because I had these pipes.
That's right. That's true.
That's right.
Kirsch came up to me and said, "Who's got that voice?" I was like, "Ooh, I'm in."
Yeah, isn't that great? That's a great.
Is he buying advertising yet?
Not yet.
Bastard.
But I am talking with him.
Tell him that he still has the voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hey, Ron, how are you? Ron Kirsch.
The reason why I mention that is because if you're looking for someone to root for in the tournament, you might
I'd like to.
Well, Coach
Well, I
Larry,
would hope you would root for VCU.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
well, you could do that,
or Kansas.
and you could also Kansas as well.
I'm actually going to passionately root for VCU. Who else would I root for? I want to put the pressure on Ron.
'cause
It's
you've
a
got-
negative,
Right.
positive thing.
I get it.
If you've got local ties, former GMU coach Laradiga was just named yesterday, as of yesterday, Coach of the Year, because when he went to the Miami Hurricanes, he completely
That's Rob's sincere
he
applause.
completely
That's
turned
terrific.
around that program.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the Year.
These two are so smug. They're so smug, but I don't care either. Sorry. What's his name again?
Coach Larinaga.
And does that
Megan?
take him through?
Lord, he was the guy who brought
Larry
GMU to the
Nagan
Final
is-
Four. Remember the Final Four when GMU got there?
Did you say it's Larry Naglin?
Larinaga.
Larry Nagel.
Larinaga.
Larry Menden?
Never mind.
Lady.
Go Hurricanes. That's my team.
Now, does the Coach of the Year, does that take him through till next March or just for calendar year 2013?
I'm not sure, Rob.
Well, because
You
when
don't
does the
care.
campaigning start for next year?
Didn't you go to like 11 colleges or something? Didn't you go to WVU, Phoenix?
I went to Dean College.
Dean?
Yes,
Oh,
Dean. And then I went to WVU.
Oh, there's
I
someone
can't
at the
imagine
door,
who would
and I
be
can't imagine who
at
it
the
is.
door.
Hey,
Hey, I'm going to write my name on the blackboard.
who are you?
I'm Dean.
Dean who?
I'm Dean College.
Hey, would you like a meatball?
I like that. Hey, where'd that meatball go? Well, we're going to bring the gold diggers in here. Oh, Volare. Whoa, whoa. Yes, sir. Hey, is that little Oscar Santana down in the front
Hey,
row?
Dean.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Dean College. Yes, sirree. We're going to go out and get some co-eds at the little Rathskeller. Dean College.
Dean College stopping.
Boo-de-boo-boo-doo-boo. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's amore. Welcome to Dean. What do you want to study today? Dealer's choice. How about craps? Let's study craps. Tomorrow it'll be roulette, and then we'll study various bourbons. I'm Dean. Thank you very much. Oh, who's that coming in?
You don't have to knock to leave.
He knocked and then he left.
Dean
He
College.
sure is
Confused.
powerful confused.
Totally
He
confused.
might be drunk.
I have a lot of
Franklin-
new buttons on there. Michael.
Franklin,
Stop it.
Franklin, Massachusetts.
Okay.
For 2 years, and I went to WVU for 3. I was a 5-year attendee.
So
of
do you have a degree?
I have an associate's and I have a 4-year. So
So you have a bachelor's degree?
Yes.
You have an associate's degree and a bachelor's
Yes.
degree? So you were almost like a professional student.
yeah.
Oh, I should introduce you to some members of my family.
It's Dr. Santana.
Oh, we have one that seriously has been going to school for like 50 years.
My
Really?
parents.
Yeah.
It's so funny. My
Kids
parents
can do that, incidentally. Beware of that. You know, when you get a kid
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a professional student, it's very dangerous.
I was told at a very important lunch with my father right before I started, he says, "You got 4 years, pal. That's it.
Yeah.
Hope you get a piece of paper at the end of 4 years because it stops
That's it.
after 4 years."
I remember. So I didn't know
I
you
almost
went
went to. I got accepted to American. I almost went to American.
Okay.
And
Everybody does, don't
I
they?
yearned. I yearned for the radio program
Still
at
better than,
WVU.
it's still
I
better
got
than
accepted
VCU.
to VCU, too.
Yeah, you know what? So I think I just got accepted again. Oh, this just in. Everyone in this room has been accepted to
All
VCU.
right.
My parents didn't trust me to go to a 4-year. Isn't that wild?
So they wanted you to ramp up to it?
They sent me to a private 2-year in the middle. I think they just want to get rid of me.
Where
to be
is
honest with you.
Dean College?
It's in Franklin, Mass.
Franklin. Is that outside of Boston?
Yes.
Okay.
So I spent 2 years of my life there.
Everyone wore a tuxedo.
And then
Dean College.
And then when we were
website.
done, look up the tuition. I was shocked they even paid that.
Okay.
We were done. My father said, "Do you want to go to American or WVU?" And I knew that WVU had an amazing radio program because all of the DJs and the morning show at the time at WHFS in the DC area were from WVU.
Really? But wouldn't you say that American has the more legendary program
absolutely.
of any?
AU, we had Warner Wolf.
Yeah.
We had Willard.
Do you think I knew who they were?
Okay.
I had no idea.
Let's go to the videotape.
And this is why he ended up on a podcast.
Wow. Well, no, we all ended up on a podcast.
I know, but he could have been so much more.
Everybody ends up on a podcast.
You don't need to hurt me like that today.
Today, I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right, so why did you go to WVU? Because it was the radio program?
Well, the radio program was amazing, and I also yearned for that thought of a big program, a big football program, a big basketball program. I got to experience that. That was fun.
How was your time at WVU? Are you a Mountaineer through and through? Did you love the experience?
Let's go Mountaineers. I loved it.
I mean, I really thought that WVU. I actually hired a guy from WVU. He's the anchor man on WTOP. Sean Anderson.
Nice.
The guy,
great hire.
The guy that I really poke fun at. Yeah, a guy that's actually, he's starting to. The people that I'm going to criticize are starting to lap me as far as staying in radio.
Yeah.
So I got to back off of that.
Well,
But
it speaks well of the industry, doesn't it?
Dean College. What a
Small
terrible
little
website.
place. Small little place.
Now, see, when a college says Dean College, discover the difference,
That sounds like a shampoo slogan.
Sure. Let's look at what's happening. Discover the Dean difference on March 22nd.
The Dean difference.
Let me see.
Hey, they're performing Godspell. So they have a big theater program?
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, Oscar played Tevye.
That's the one.
Go theater.
That's the one school that.
What do you want to hear about? You want to
think-
hear about Dean?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I think I think the time and money spent is anytime they send me a bumper sticker or maybe a receipt that says I gave $20 and I didn't, I just throw it in the trash because
I think that's nice.
when you spend
Oh,
30.
look who's here.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, I want to talk about your personalized pathway to success.
Who are you?
I'm Dean.
Dean who?
Dean College. I want to tell you all about your life-changing foundation in education. It takes more than just lectures and a syllabus. It takes people who are committed to seeing you succeed and dedicated to keeping you on track to meet your goals. That's what Dean offers. Faculty, peers, mentors, tutors, who are on your side. After all, why should football players be the only ones who get cheerleaders? That's the Dean difference.
Does it really say that? Oh my God!
Wow.
A great school though.
I sure love reading that.
Sure does.
I discovered radio there as a freshman.
Hey, you might want to know,
What's that?
where do Dean students come from?
Where do they come from, Dean?
In the U.S., Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Illinois, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Maryland, Maine, well, everywhere. Outside of the U.S., they come from Australia, Bangladesh, Belarus, Belize, Botswana, Canada, China, Congo, and many, many more. Check out the Dean difference.
That's the Dean difference.
Y'all take care now.
Oh, so long, Dean.
So long, bye-bye.
I had a wonderful experience there
Dean.
At Dean or at West Virginia?
at both schools. Really?
Well, let's talk about West Virginia now.
Yeah. I know.
Let me ask this question. I know that certain schools are known for certain patterns of behavior.
Yes.
Being a man of a minority of Hispanic descent, did you sense any feeling of being different when you attended WVU?
No, because WVU is basically South Jersey.
Really?
Okay.
Everybody that couldn't get into Rutgers went to WVU.
So it's got a pretty decent student body.
Yeah, and it's packed, and I knew that it was the place for me when I was underage, and I went to a bar called Speedy's.
Speedy's.
And
howdy, welcome to Speedy's.
And the bouncer said to me, "It's quarter draft night. Where's your ID?" And I gave him my ID, and I was underage, so you get X's on your hands. Everybody knows that
Right.
for some of these 18 and over bars. And he says, "Give me $5." And I said, "Okay." And because the cover was only $2 if you're over 21.
So for the $3 he let you in?
Yeah, he gave me the bracelet, and I rolled
Blessed.
in.
America.
World of big
I
business.
love that.
And I said, "You know what?"
I'm okay with that, incidentally.
Yeah.
I said, "This place is an all right place."
Yeah,
What
you
town
were,
is
you
it
were
in?
18.
At that point, I was 19 visiting WU for the summer.
I'm okay with
Go to
that.
war. You
What
can
town
drink.
is WVU?
Morgantown, West Virginia.
And then is that close to Jersey, or is it just the proximity that they got there? Because
I
it was...
think that's just far enough for anybody that lives in
from
Long Island or New Jersey that they can get away from their parents.
Hey, we're talking about West Virginia University, and nobody's asked you the important question.
What's that?
How's the USSI pay?
Gorgeous.
Is it gorgeous?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be performing there soon. Thank you very much.
You can't go wrong.
So really on a scale of 1 to 10.
I thought that was Dean College.
I had a 10 experience, but you have to really. There is about 6 months of your life where you realize either you're going to go down the road of alcoholism and drug abuse, or B, you're going to make the most of it and try to stay away from picture night on Wednesday and whip it night on Tuesday.
I just thought I'd come by. Would you like to hear about student life?
I would.
Sure.
All right, hit my music, Slim.
Oh, you want hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit my music. I thought you'd know that was coming up.
You've been by so many times,
I'm
Dean.
the worst ambassador.
Nobody
Dean
expects
College
music.
is a unique co-ed private college that's home to more than 1,000 full-time students and 500 part-time students. They come from all over the world. Students leave with associate degrees, just like Oscar said.
Fantana.
Franklin, Massachusetts is a historic, charming town. There are plenty of friendly places to grab a bite, shop, pamper yourself, and catch a movie.
Did you ever pamper yourself, Oscar?
No pampering.
No pampering.
Plus, Dean is just 45 minutes from Boston and Providence by road or train, making weekend excursions to either city a breeze.
That's easy, huh, Dean?
No problem. The train station is just a short walk from campus, so you can get right out to Boston on the weekends. Have a good time at Dean. Are you worried Dean will be all work and no play?
I am worried about that.
Here's proof. The good times and intense study can peacefully coexist.
That's nice.
Dean has dozens of clubs and activities.
Oh, I bet they're great clubs.
10 athletic programs, an unbelievable lineup of theater productions and dance performances and sporting events. Other ways, Bulldogs on one. Oh, you were a Dean Bulldog.
I was.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I was also student body president.
Of course, you're an overachiever.
Hey, at Dean College, can I drink for $3 extra even
That's
if I'm
right.
underage?
You can drink for $3 extra. Just tip the bouncer at the door.
Thanks, Dean.
Dean College.
I can't believe
I'm gonna get hate mail.
We've examined your academics so thoroughly.
Thank
today.
you.
It's about time.
Also on the program today, I'm very, very curious about our Michael McDonald bit. Have you given this any thought whatsoever?
I saw the thing on Fallon, and he loves doing those musical impressions, especially when his boyfriend Justin Timberlake is on.
But it seems that we were doing it and doing it for a long time. Then somebody sent us a thing about Corolla doing it.
Right.
And then Corolla did it. And suddenly
The only person...
I don't like to do this because when you do this, it's been done to me in the past.
I know.
And it's not fair. And I just want to see if anybody is aware.
There's
been
until-
floating around.
I have a theory.
But I think until us, the only person who really did a Michael McDonald impression was way, way back. Rick Moranis did it on SCTV.
Okay.
And then it lay dormant.
Impressions have been done for a while, but dueling Michael McDonald's, I think that premiered here.
Right.
Now, sometimes ideas get stolen. In fact, a lot of times ideas get stolen, but I think there's something else that happens, and that is that sometimes great minds think alike. Sometimes more than one guy thinks of the same great idea without the other guy being aware of it.
There have been moments on the Letterman show, and you're a big fan of Letterman, where we would have done something on the radio, and it shows up on Letterman a couple of weeks later, and we were always a little suspicious. I don't think there's any real way of knowing what your sources are.
Perfect example on a fairly recent one. After we stopped, we gave up on the Mitt Romney calling bit. Remember the phone would ring and it would be Mitt Romney on the phone?
Right.
He'd do the same thing with the same tape.
I used to write monologue jokes for DJs. I'd watch like a couple of hours of news every night and make notes on what I saw, and then I would go to the desk and I would write a series of one-liner, 8-second jokes that would fit over the intros of records, and distribute them on a DJ network.
Do you remember any? Do any come to mind?
No. It was
Boy,
just
that President Ford is so clumsy.
Yeah, because I mean, it's
President
it's
Ford.
a while
You're a
back.
funny guy. Let's do it. Hey, I'll tell you, that Herbert Hoover sure is a deadwood.
Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
But and they were very popular, very well liked.
What did you use to write those jokes?
What do you mean? What did a typewriter?
Oh, electric?
Well, yeah, actually, I did. Yes,
I'm doing the bit. I'm doing the bit. You're talking about writing jokes, and I'm doing the age bit with you right now.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But
charred stick on a shovel.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That's an age joke. Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Ink plume.
But frequently, I would write jokes that then you would hear later that night on Letterman or Leno.
Can you write me some?
Well, yeah, probably, sure.
I'd love to get some jokes.
Well, let me give it a shot. I haven't done it for a
Give
while.
him a topic.
Give it a shot.
Give him a topic that's in the news right now.
No, that's too narrow. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on him.
I need something like a news story or something to set it off.
Just give me one. I'm not going to ask for 8. I'm just give me one. And if they're
well, you write your kickers,
and
right?
Buzz, I know what you're thinking. What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
Oh, this is a win-win, right, Buzz?
I don't want to spotlight it because that would be unfair to you.
Don actually subscribed to the service from which, and that was one
What
of the,
service are we talking about?
what was it called? Radio Star.
Oh, I remember that.
You
was the
wrote
name of
for
the-
Radio Star?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
All
was
right.
one of their more popular writers.
Okay.
And DJs across the country would use this material, including Don.
Is that like the Electric Weenie?
And no, I thought
This was a shared service.
Yeah, it was a co-op. It was a place for DJs to exchange ideas and material that they had written.
Well, I didn't know that I
Features and
had.
that kind of
I
thing.
didn't know that I had a comedy writer in my midst.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on what my job is at the time.
How
you
about
know?
this? You get the joke, and then you weave it into the show,
Yeah.
and then we debut it. Afterwards.
So we don't spotlight it
we
and say
reveal it
Buzz's
after.
joke
Oh,
of
we
the
back
day.
sell it.
Yeah,
we back sell it. Perfect.
Okay. And then at the end of the show, we say, hey, if you like that line, send your thank you letters to Buzz.
Perfect.
All right, well.
A lot of times, Letterman and Leno would end up with the same jokes, not because they stole them from me, certainly, but because we both looked at it and thought of it the same way. Their writers did.
All right.
Yeah.
I think
So it happens.
I think they've been listening to me for years and stealing my ideas.
Well, clearly.
I'm standing by that theory.
If there's one thing Justin Timberlake loves, it's this show.
Hey, let me see. What's Mike doing in his living room?
Well, Jay, he had a great joke today about Dean Martin at Dean College.
Oh, let's put that in the next monologue.
Yeah, jaywalking.
Who knows? We'll take a break, come back with Rob and the Magic Audio Vault right after this.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are brought to you by our animated series. Download the Strine Studios cartoons for just $2.99 each, or subscribe to the whole series. This is the Frankie one, right?
This is the Frankie one, yes.
Fantastic.
If you like me talking about Frankie being attacked by a hawk, you'll love this Strine animation. Subscribe to the whole series for just $15. It's hysterically
It's
funny.
great.
Season 3, Episode 4 is available now. Gabe Strine is a brilliant animator,
Yep.
and he has a lot of fun with this show. The Mike O'Mara Show animated series available only at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Without further ado, we're running behind. Let's get right to it with Rob Spiewak in the Audio Vault.
I am not single. You are not single. As a matter of fact, I guess no one in the room is single.
Nope.
But there is a
Well-
great scam. Well, we'll see. I'm not closing any doors, Mike.
There's some gray area.
Wait for the
Yeah,
bonus
there's
show
some
this
gray
week.
areas.
Wait for
What
the
we
bonus
got
show
here
this
is a
week.
great scam. This was on YouTube. How to get any girl's phone number. This is a great scam. I'll play it for you. It involves going up and asking to borrow a girl's cell phone because it's an emergency. Check this out.
Do you have a cell phone I could use real quick? I gotta call my mom. So, I'll call you later.
Okay, sounds good.
So his scam is he borrows a girl's phone, says I need it for an emergency, then calls himself, and then he hits the number on caller ID and he has it.
Oh.
Yeah, but at the same time,
It's a
you're
little
still
slimy.
you're still going to have to make that call.
Yeah,
and
but-
when you call the girl, say, "Who the hell is this?"
And if she doesn't want you to call, you're a stalker.
Well,
Or she could just block your number, do not answer.
Right.
yeah,
but-
Rob,
but
and
you
then you've got
got
a Steubenville on your hands.
But then you've got the
Yeah.
number anyway. Hey, I didn't say it was a great idea. I just said it worked.
Clever,
Yeah.
a little.
whatever.
Another YouTube clip, and I think we put this on our Mike O'Mara Show page. It's unclear to me why this basketball explodes because it's just a guy bouncing it.
Okay.
But the sound, it must have been overinflated.
Phony or real?
Oh, it's real.
Staged or not?
I don't think staged. It looks very random, and the reaction is great. It's just, you ever wonder what it's, you've all heard a balloon pop, but
Yeah.
to hear a basketball pop,
Never heard it.
the sound is pretty spectacular. He's walking out. You can hear him bounce it once. There it is.
Damn.
It sounds like it's inflated.
Oh, yeah.
Hard.
Listen to.
All right, so not staged, but they certainly planned for it to explode.
Yeah.
I think they were hoping for
Because
it.
they
yeah.
put so much air. I'd like to hear it
One
again.
more time,
You
Evan.
can hear the first
Yes.
bounce. That thing is so.
It's a high note.
Listen up.
Yeah.
Damn. Listen to.
Like a gunshot.
Yeah, it is.
That's fantastic.
Worse.
Thank you, Cappy, for sending that along.
This
I
is
like
a
that.
this is a visual on YouTube. Did anybody see? Somebody sent this to me on Facebook. The kid that's jumping into the puddle with his friends.
Oh, and it's way deep.
It's like 6 feet
Yeah.
deep, and he sits there and you see him. He's like getting ready. He's got the whole position
Right.
of being a little kid jumping into a little puddle, and he goes
All the
straight
way
up-
down.
up to his eyes.
So great.
Fantastic.
Did you? I know you all probably did. Snooki and JWoww was on last night.
Oh, I
which
didn't
is
watch it, no.
The spinoff of the Jersey Shore.
No.
And they're really sort of trying to find different angles to make it interesting. So last night they took it to maybe the most disgusting level, and I think you have a particular aversion to this. They drank Snooki's breast milk.
Oh, boy.
But I wouldn't be doing my duty if I didn't play it for you.
That's true.
Roger, you want to try breast milk? Bottoms up, kids. That was like nothing. Am I the only one that did it?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Come on, I thought you were so tough. You're just allowed another man to drink your own woman's breast milk before you.
I'm so stupid.
You go ahead.
I didn't say I wanted to do it. It's very clumpy.
Come on, Jenny. Back up.
He's
a liar.
Mike, it's very clumpy.
That show shall be canceled in no time.
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
very clumpy.
It's just the mashed
Jenny,
potatoes.
back up the mouth. Let's go.
It was like chugging mashed potatoes.
Jenny, back it up.
Oh, it tastes like. So in the last 9 months, the only shot that I've taken is my own breast milk.
So check that out. It's on your local MTV affiliate.
I can outgross her.
How?
I can really outgross her.
How?
You know what I smell right now?
What?
I smell the burning holes where my tags were.
The smell of burning flesh.
Throw up.
More like
That's so
pork.
nice.
More like pork.
Yeah, like burnt honey.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, I think we agree that one of our favorite news guys on the TV is Lester Holt. I think he's pretty cool. He has it together.
2 moves I would like to see NBC do.
Okay.
I would like to see NBC move Lester Holt into the main anchor role.
Yes.
But Brian Williams is pretty good, but I just love watching Lester Holt deliver the news. I think he's great at it. And the other one, and it just dawned on me today, and I was not always a huge fan, move Hoda up to work with Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That would be great.
Copy. And it's not just because she announced she had a landing strip yesterday.
But
Although
Matt
that's a good reason.
Matt knew that for years.
She was on today with Savannah.
And almost saved it.
The contrast could not be any more clear between a woman who is made for television, who is so at ease with the camera and
That's
is
what it's
so
all about.
natural, and the rigid, toothy Savannah Guthrie who drives me nuts now.
True.
I really would love, if you had Matt and Hoda Kotb, you got a winning formula.
I would be willing to overlook
I'd
the
like to
fact
see
that
it.
Hoda is as ugly as a tree full of owls.
She's ugly. She's not ugly though. She's
certainly not usual.
She's not classically pretty, but she's got a great personality.
She has
does.
appeal. She
She
has
would
some
ha-
kind of appeal.
I like
she
her
would
a lot.
have to be. Anyway, Lester Holt last night to illustrate a fact that a song that the lyrics of a love song when they're sung, they're fine, but when you speak them, they sound different and sometimes creepy. Here's Lester Holt doing a bit of Boys to Men.
I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you when you want me to. And I will not let you go till you tell me to.
What's this from?
It's from the Jimmy Fallon program.
Wow.
I like Lester Holt. That's why I thought that was
he's great.
Now, the Kansas City mayor, his name is Sly James. He was doing his State of the City address.
Okay.
And he had a great interruption. I think you'll enjoy this. This is
Those
yesterday.
early efforts resulted in $5 billion in investment.
This man had just got through talking about exactly what the he ain't did.
So they take the guy, the interloper, they pull him back.
Now, is this one of those deals where they've got the microphone at the
Well, that
meeting?
was unfortunate.
He says that was unfortunate.
Go, Mayor.
What are they applauding?
Applauding the fact that 3 thugs got rid of the guy that interrupted him.
Is it one of those deals where they're in like an auditorium and they've got the microphone
He
set
ran
up?
up. He ran up to.
He ran up to the dais.
Podium, yeah.
grabbed
Oh,
the
so he
mic.
grabbed. So he's totally an interloper.
No good.
Yeah,
Oscar's a big video game guy. You do the Tech 411 program.
Yeah, I'm all in.
And I know that Mark likes it. These from BuzzFeed are the 6 most iconic video game sounds of all time.
Okay.
Ooh.
See if you can name some of
Fun.
them. Mark. I think you like this. At number 6.
Angry Birds.
Yeah, Angry Birds.
Exactly. Very good.
I got it first. Let
You
the
did,
record
you did,
show.
you did.
Let
Winner.
the record show. I got it
Mike
first.
O'Mara, winner.
Winner, Mike.
You got it.
I was
Go,
gonna say,
Charlie.
I was going to say King Koopa.
All right, at number 5.
Super Mario Brothers.
Gunsmoke.
No. It is the monster grown from the game Doom.
Oh, I should know.
I was going to say Pong.
I thought so.
Boo.
At number 4.
Centipede.
No.
Super Punch Out.
No.
Asteroids.
No. Contra.
The
gun level.
yes.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start.
Is that how you
Oh
do
yeah,
it?
that's the little code.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, cheat code.
All right, that was the
Cheat
gun
code.
for Mike, I think Buzz will get this one.
Exactly.
Pac-Man.
Of course, Pac-Man at number 3. I like this one. Number 2 was one that I hadn't thought of in a long time. Here's number 2.
Ooh, Cubert.
One more time.
Donkey Kong.
And at one point you were
Is it
addicted.
Donkey Kong?
At one point you were addicted to this game.
Is it Tetris?
It was when you lost Tetris.
Oh.
At the end of it.
I didn't recognize the buzzing sound at the beginning.
Tetris.
Tetris.
I remember
Did you have a
Tetris.
Game
Yeah,
Boy?
Tetris was
Huh?
fun.
Did you have a Game Boy?
Yeah, when you had your diverticulitis, you
I
had
had
one in the
one too,
hospital.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Those were internal skin tags.
And at
Yes.
number one, that's very true.
Probably right.
Yeah, it is. Right?
But it's related.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, it could be.
I'd like
Perhaps
to know.
I am a victim of weak tissue.
At number one,
I'm
Mike,
melting, Buzz.
I'm melting.
I'm effing melting.
the most iconic video game noise of them all.
Oh, that would be.
Mario Brothers.
Yes, but what?
It's Super Mario. It's him jumping.
It is. It's
jumping
Super
out.
Mario Brothers jumping.
Yeah, It's Mario jumping.
No.
No,
That
no.
is-
What is
my
it?
sister had this guy that lived in her neighborhood.
Yeah.
His name was Perry. And Perry had nose hairs that were literally down to his chin.
Oh no!
And one night, I was just visiting, and I knew I didn't have to socialize with the guy regularly.
Right.
In fact, I would never probably see him again. So during a cocktail party, I walked up and put my hand up there, and I plucked one of them.
And it sounded like.
Yeah.
There you go. And that, Mike, that
That's
is
correct.
your magic audio vault.
Yay!
Yeah, we hope you weren't eating during today's show, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
no, the
now.
breast milk was like mashed potatoes.
And then I talked about burning flesh. We'll take a break, come back with the magic audio vault right after this,
News,
everybody.
news.
Oh, I'm sorry. News. I play it again.
All right, I'm sorry. Don't
two.
break down the line.
No,
the
don't
good
break
one.
down the line. Hey, everybody, sorry about that. I got the audio vault and the news confused. You know, it's been a long day. I had a medical procedure done today, and, well, maybe that's got me a little woozy. We're going to have news coming up, and you, ladies and gentlemen, are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. And we're back. Thank you, Gordon. God, I was so concentrating when we went to commercial break on that song,
Right.
that I got the order of the show messed
It's
up.
one of my favorite
It's not
songs.
really important.
Love it.
But I won't do it again.
Thank you, Shep.
Let's bring in Buzz. Buzz Smith
Yes.
and the news.
Thank you.
Take it away.
Brought to you by Spencer & Devon Premium Shaving Cream. Spencer & Devon uses natural ingredients like aloe and shea butter. No harsh chemicals. Got bumps? Get Spencer & Devon. Spencer & Devon's good to your face, whether you have a tough beard, sensitive skin, or both. In sagebrush, spice, or completely unscented. Learn more at SpencerDevon.com or click their ad on our website. With Spencer Devon Shaving Cream, you're closer than ever to a perfect shave. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You're going to enjoy this, I think. We used to talk about the big 3 or 4 TV networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, and eventually Fox. They always dominated the list of our top 10 shows. Not anymore. For at least the past couple of weeks, neither ABC nor NBC has had a single show in the top 10.
Not even Happy Days?
Basic cable channels, including AMC and the History Channel, are in the top 10 for the first time. The History Channel's The Bible made this week's top 10 list, as did AMC's The Walking Dead for the third straight week. Even NCIS reruns on CBS are doing better than ABC or NBC, networks that used to laugh at basic cable.
Can you imagine how powerful a crossover would be with the Bible and The Walking Dead? You could have like zombies on the ark.
Man, I'm reading a great book right now. Demonologist.
You mentioned that. I
The
want to know
novel.
more about
Do you
that.
remember the author yet?
No.
Okay, tomorrow perhaps.
Very, very
That's
good.
right. This is because it's Kindle.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, how dare it?
If it wasn't the Kindle, I would be looking at the author every time I picked up the book.
You would
love
look at the flap.
I love the smell of it.
I looked at the flap today.
Had some of them removed. Basic cable has stepped up with better shows, but our habits have changed too. 5 million of us now watch TV on the internet, like Oscar. Cable and satellite companies have taken notice of this, and they're now putting pressure on the media companies to stop making them sell you packages of channels you have no intention of watching.
I like to have everything.
Yeah,
The future
I get
is
that.
around the corner.
Yeah,
I really like to
it's
have
here, really.
everything.
Now
You
we
wanna
live,
watch everything.
We live in a world of Velcro snaps and buttons, and yet men continue to endanger their junk with zippers. In the past 10 years, over 17,000 men in this country went to hospitals for genital injuries caused by zippers.
We got a bleeder.
At first, people ignored the warnings about smoking, but eventually we caught on and changed some laws until a lot more people came around. At first, many people scoffed at seat belts, but we added some laws, and a lot more people came around.
Buzz, you zipped your scrot into your zipper.
You need to be warned. I won't scoff at that. And people also scoffed at Mayor Bloomberg's big anti-soda law. But today, a new study says diabetes, heart disease, and cancer caused by sugary sodas kills 25,000 Americans a year and 180,000 people a year worldwide. Like the tobacco industry before it, the beverage industry is scoffing at this report from the Harvard School of Health. So maybe you're drawn to a new product from the Coca-Cola company called Fruit Water. Fine.
Hi! I'm so thirsty!
Look what I brought.
What?
It's clear and it's tasty.
How does it taste?
Like fruit.
What do you call it?
Fruit water.
I love it!
Just one thing. Fruit water contains no fruit. None whatsoever.
Flavoring.
Just chemicals. We're pretty sure they're not lying about the water. And another consumer note, if the new turkey burger from Burger King tastes like chicken to you, that's because it contains chicken broth, chicken fat, and powdered chicken. Not a health problem, just a little misleading.
So it's the chicken burger?
It's turkey, but they've flavored it
like chicken.
with chicken broth, chicken fat for moisture
That's
and tenderness,
crap.
and a little chicken powder.
You get ground turkey in every grocery store in America now,
Right.
and that's garbage. They ought to be up in arms. I am totally against that.
Are you?
How's that for going out on a limb?
That's excellent.
Taking a stand.
Thank you all very much.
Have you ever used chicken powder?
Chicken powder? Well, they say that it'll make the tags grow back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Then stay away.
I use it on my balls.
You've been warned.
Oscar.
It helps keep you dry. And it tastes like chicken. Our forefathers guaranteed for us the right to bear pistols and muskets. Today's lawmakers are upholding our right to own military-style assault weapons. The plan to ban those weapons has been shot down in the Senate. Thankfully, some other common-sense gun control measures are expected to pass.
Well, who do you think's trying to take away your guns?
Obama! Guaranteed.
Now, Colorado's leading the charge for change. Precisely 8 months after that movie theater massacre, lawmakers have passed, and the governor has signed, a sweeping revision of that state's gun laws with new limits on ammo magazines and tougher background checks.
I love fruit water.
Fruit water!
Now, infrastructure, just so we're clear, means roads, bridges, sewers, dams, levees, schools, transit, and aviation. That's infrastructure. You hear it mentioned. Now, you know, a new objective report from our civil engineers gives the United States a D+ for infrastructure. That's actually up from the straight D that we got in their last report card 4 years ago.
I think about when you have a story like this, I think about bridges, and it freaks the hell out.
Who wants to be on a bridge when it fails?
You really don't know. You don't know. And there's some real bad ones out there.
Yes, there are.
That's why I drive as fast as I can when I'm on a bridge, so I minimize my time on it.
So we're up to a D+ from a D, but still, mom's not going to be happy about a D+. Tell mom that according to these engineers, it's only going to take $3.6 trillion to bring us up to a C or C+.
Wow.
The death of civility, part 1. In Austin, Texas, a woman faces charges after using her finger to dig out the eye of another woman during an argument.
Whoa! Now you be careful, Mike. This is a tragedy.
I'm sorry, I laughed at that. That's terrible.
We laugh because otherwise we'd cry.
I know, it's sad. I'm sorry. That was very irresponsible of me.
Death of civility, part 2. A Cleveland mother is charged with threatening to shoot employees at her son's elementary school. This goes back to our conversation earlier. Mom threatened to shoot employees at her son's elementary school after the boy's teacher took him out of class because he didn't do his assignment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll shoot. I'll kill you.
Good luck, teachers.
I'll kill you. I'll shoot the whole place up. Duh.
Yeah, but you know what? At least they all have their eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody dug it out.
In this economy, there's been a lot of theft of copper wire, but the penalty for that can be death. In Columbia, South Carolina, they found the body of a man who had apparently been trying to steal copper wire from a mental hospital. Unfortunately, the wire he tried to steal carried several thousand volts of electricity. And finally,
I would think that would make it worth more.
That's a thinning of the herd.
That's right, Oscar. That's right.
Safe travels.
Finally,
so long, Sparky.
Finally, what are you in for? Asked the hardened criminal. Pigeon betting, the newbie replied. Having solved all the other crimes in Oklahoma City, police there have arrested and charged 3 men with gambling conspiracy for allegedly betting on pigeon races at a pigeon racing convention.
Oh,
wow. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
I got nothing for that.
Nobody does. No. Don't feel bad.
A pigeon racing convention.
That's
hey,
right.
I know what we're doing next year.
Yeah, I'd bet on anything.
Thank you, Buzz.
You bet.
Our show today was brought to you by our Amazon page. Hey, folks, it's real easy. It is the single number one way that you can support this show.
Yep.
If you're going to do your online shopping at Amazon, please go to MikeO'MaraShow.com. Take advantage of some of their great bargains right now. 70% off on jewelry, 60% off on athletic shoes, which I will be looking at the conclusion of this program.
And you'll run faster than ever, Mike.
At home, school, church, work, please help the Mike O'Mara Show by shopping through MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's that easy, folks. We really would appreciate the support. That's it. We got to get out of here. We will see you with another show tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody, and bye-bye.
So long.
Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you.
Bye.